How's it going, YouTube? Dan the Plastic Man here. I hope you guys are doing well. Time for another Snapshot review. And as you can tell by the title, it is the Master Grade Build Gundam Mark II. The reason I'm doing this is this kit gets a lot of flack, and here he is. And I don't think it deserves the flack that it gets. Granted, a lot of people will say that it's just a Master Grade Mark II 2.0 with a new backpack, and I think that's actually one of the cool things about it. Now, me personally, I am a massive fan of the Mark II and don't think that suit gets enough love, so when Build Fighters came along and did the Build Mark II, I was pretty excited. Now, let's go ahead and... I'm not really going to go over the articulation that much, just because it is exactly the same as a Mark II 2.0. But I'm going to go over what I consider to be a lot of the pros and cons of this suit. Of course, a lot of people are going to say, as I just said, that it's just a Mark II with a new backpack on it. And as you can see, it's a doozy of a backpack. Now, a couple things that I've done is I took my green Gundam marker and I went in here, and here on the opposite side as well, and painted those up to be camera sensors. I didn't do the best job, but I did it at least. I also went here, and on the eyes, and here in the camera. But, hold on, I lost my train of thought for a moment there. So, cons of this suit, I guess you could say it is a Mark II 2.0. There's nothing really new or exciting about it. But that's also a pro, because not only do you get the Mark II in these new colors, the white, the navy blue, instead of the black that you would get, or brown, actually, for the Mark II AUG, which I do plan on getting. You do get the Build Booster Mark II, but you also get all the accessories and parts for a Master Grade Mark II 2.0. So you get the traditional V-fin and jewel. You can see that I've actually got the Vulcan pod on his head. And you get the original beam rifle, you get the original bazooka, you get the original shield. So you actually get a lot for your money. So, I still remember when I was building this, I'm going to pull a piece off right here for the chest vent. I spent so much time using my black Gundam marker to paint that vent black, and then with this piece and the way it's set up, it was like, womp womp. Yeah, waste of time, but still. Of course, we got the pretty cool gimmick of an opening cockpit. And what I love about the Mark II 2.0, and you can see the pilot in there, I think it is a typical AUG suit or Titan suit, depending. But, I mean, they give you a red cockpit ball for the 360 panoramic on this thing. But I just keep seeing this kit get bashed, and I thought I'd make my own video and say, you know, it's not that bad. Because the Mark II 2.0 frame had great gimmicks. You've got the sliding armor in the arm. You've got all the great articulation that you would have in a 2.0, and you've got these extra gimmicks, like the backpack. You've got the shield, the forearm shields and rifles, and we can actually pull the rifles out. Let me work on that. Yeah, see, it just slides up, and then you pop the rifle forward, I believe. I actually haven't done this too often. There we go. And you've got the typical notches in the handle to match up with the hand. So, let's go right here. Hand holds it just fine, apart from the hideously derpy pose I just put this thing in. But it works just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this back in, because this is how I prefer to have mine displayed. Now, I would take the backpack off and show you guys the Build Booster Mark II in its flight mode, but I have somehow misplaced the nose cone, which really just looks like the core of the G Defensor. But yeah, I mean, I'll give you just a quick bit on the articulation just because. So, with the head, you can get a full Exorcist 360, and you can also get the Funky Chicken. We've got, you've seen me messing around with the torso joint. We've got some pretty good crunching going on here. If you move the booster back, you can get the full 360 out of the shoulders. Just make sure that the arm is out of the way. Arm will still rotate right below the shoulder, and you do get a great 180 out of the arm. And the weight of these pieces don't add any weight. It's really surprising that the joints, especially in the arms, are still so tight, because I've just had mine posed like this and gravity has not done anything to it. The legs, we get the front skirt out of the way, this far forward, extend the toes like so, be all ballerina pirouette. The legs will go that far back, which is not very far, but you still get all the great sliding gimmicks for the armor. And, oh, yeah, and you still have the variable hips, if you can see them in there, guys. But, as I said, this kit gets ragged on a lot, and yes, you can go ahead and say it was a kind of a cop-out for a Master Grade release, especially since last year's releases were not the best. But, you know, better to have this than nothing at all. So, I do plan on getting the Mark II AUG. I've got the Mark II Titans. So, if you like the Mark II, get it. I mean, you get everything with the Mark II. You get the great frame, you get the great detail, you get all the original accessories, and you still get the Build Booster Mark II pack to go on it. So, I'm going to go ahead and recommend this kit. Not many people do. I'm going to just because. So, if you guys like the video, leave me a like, subscribe to me, leave me some comments. I love reading them. And let's keep the community growing, guys, because fairly soon we're going to hit our next milestone, and I'm going to be doing another giveaway. So once we hit 100, I'll be doing exactly what I did when we hit 50. So, also, for those of you who are curious, here's the Master Grade Tall Geese 3, just to prove that I'm working on this thing. So, by the time, I'm probably going to say this coming Sunday, May the 24th, I should have this guy finished, and I'll be doing the review for you guys. So, hold me to that. So if I don't have it by then, give me some crap for it. But yeah, that's it for this quick snapshot of the Build Gundam Mark II. And I will catch you guys at the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.